the big boat,
Oh,
I got an email Tuesday from the attorney representing the owner, and he said, there is no conditional use permit on this property. I said, yes, there is. It was passed in 2000. He said, it does not show up on a title search. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been known in my days to practice law without a license. I said, well, if that's the case, then there is no CUP. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I said, okay. And I said, it is not showing up on any title searches. And I think that property's changed hands 3 or 4 times over the years since 2000. Does that make sense?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, apparently whoever the new buyer is, it didn't show up on a title search. Because whenever you change land, as you know, you do a title search. So I called the city planner and the city attorney, because the owner's attorney said, we got to go before the judge tomorrow. I got to have something for him. So Al looked it up. He said, he's right. There is no CUP. He said, nobody ever checked on it. It is zoned C1, which allows for boat repair and boat storage. And the boat storage is there as part of the repair process. Then I talked to Mary, our city attorney, and said, I think you're right, Jim. So I said, well, I'm going to draft a letter that I can send to the attorney who can take it to the court. So in my letter, and it's attached here, I started out by saying they should indemnify us in case anything happens. Mary said, you can't really do that. I said, but I can try. She said, no, that won't work. Judge won't take it. But I said, if they do move the boat, they have to give us at least 24 hours notice so we can notify the police and the water patrol. Because when they move the boat, they need to shut down Shoreline Boulevard from like midnight to 5 in the morning. I also said to the attorney, I said, if you do move the boat to this site over here, how do you get through the traffic signal? Because that's not getting underneath those traffic arms. You got to take those down.
Right.
And I'm not an engineer, but you don't have to be an engineer to see the boat's too damn high for that traffic arm. He said, we're going to take some stuff off the top of the boat. I said, okay. How are you going to move an 80,000-pound boat on a trailer that has a 30,000-pound capacity? And his basic answer is, everybody wants to tell everybody how to do their business. In other words, Burmeyer, that's none of your business. Okay, fine. So I said, okay, you just need to let us know. I said, secondly, when you do move the boat, we want it set up so that the public cannot access it. By that I mean, that big thing sitting out there, is that a perfect spot for a couple of 19-year-olds to buy some beer from a buddy and go out there and have a hell of a party? So I said it has to be barricaded or shrink wrapped, some way to protect it. And then there was a third condition. There it is. Oh, it cannot be parked in any designated parking areas, parking spaces. Well, that makes sense. So I did drive over there and look at the place. There is some parking up along the building. They're not going to put the boat there. There is a pontoon boat back in the corner. I'm guessing that's where it's going. If it's there for repair, it's not going to, they'll have to repair it outdoors because there's not an overhead door there that can possibly accommodate that. So the judge got that information. I sent it on Thursday morning. Over the weekend, actually, I started emailing Mary and Corey and saying, what's happened? I just got an email tonight about 5:30 from the owner's attorney. The judge has not made a ruling yet. So it's in the court's hands. I'm guessing the judge is waiting for an affidavit from somebody, a towing company, that will say to the court, we have the capacity to tow this boat, here's how we're going to do it. Something like that. And I don't know if he's able to get that, because I later found out somebody, we don't know if it was police department or who it was, went out there and checked the VIN on that boat. I didn't know boats had VINs. They checked it out. It actually has only a 10,000-pound capacity.
You're right.
So we have an 80,000-pound boat sitting on a 10,000-pound trailer. And so I went out there and took a closer look. It is actually braced up from the pavement to keep it from tipping over. So when that boat gets moving, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be here just to see what happens.
Well, maybe not.
So that's the update on that, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
And I guess we've been in the paper and newsreels and or news TV stations and everything. When I have coffee with some of these guys, say, "Oh yeah, I saw you in the paper last."
Yeah. Thank you. Now let's have to see what happens with it. I guess.
Interesting.
And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
On that conditional use permit, when they issued that, it may not have been filed. If that wasn't filed, then I think we should, who is responsible to file that against? I mean, we've had conditional use permits before in town, and the best of my knowledge, I don't know if they've ever been filed, but that's what we rely on the staff for.
Yeah.
People sitting on the council sure as hell don't know that.
Right.
But I guess what gets me is, in that particular, one of the conditions they had in there was they didn't want anything over 7 feet high on the thing. And so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens on it. I don't know.
But that triggers another thought. I just wonder if it's possible for the planner to tell me how many CUPs we have out there. It might be interesting to do a little search and see what's
How many what?
How many CUPs we have. I don't know if we have a lot of them in town or not. I can't imagine we do. But I would have somebody maybe check on whether or not they're filed and it shows up on a title search.
Good idea.
Yeah, we don't. It was back in 2000 that this was approved, and actually we found a letter with it. That then administrator signed it, and the owner of the property signed it and said, "I accept this."
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah,
But that was a previous owner.
But no, I think that was Bowden, the guy that's got
Was it?
Yeah, same guy that owns it now. They haven't changed ownerships on it that I'm aware of.
Okay.
You know. But the one other topic that, as long as